Hello, hello, hello. Can I get a Hubie? Well, can I? Can I get a Hubie? Can I get an HB, H-Ween? I don't know if I'm live until I get a Hubie Halloween. Hello, Marty. I see some familiar names. Meow, 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 meow. Okay, Hubie Halloween, finally. Woo! I'm in shorts. Uh, what's poppin'? While I was waiting to go live, I saw some questions that I can already answer, but um, I was gonna wait till more people showed up. And I always feel like I get this wrong. Like, I don't want to see the light that's up there, but whatever. It's like behind the scenes flow, you know? That's fine. Oh my gosh. Um, how's everybody doing? So I think I only missed one Friday, right? Last Friday, but the Friday before that, I was here. But so I figured I would catch everybody up on why I was so out of commish last week, and then what I was doing top of this week. If you follow me on TikTok, you know I had a little vacation. I went to Palm Springs for a couple of days, and let me tell you, TikTok was not happy about it. Oh boy. Um, but last week, okay, so as I've said before, I'm a producer, freelance producer and director. But I was working, I don't know if I can say what I was working on last week, but I can say this. I was producing and directing something that will air during E3. So I can say that. Whoa, Hunter, your power's out. I'm sorry. Um, I would say my trip to Palm Springs was a working vacay. I pretty much was on my laptop the whole time. But you can't say that on TikTok because I want to talk about actually this like really confusing thing about talking about being on vacation on TikTok. But anyway, so I was producing and directing something for E3. So it will air during E3. Can't say what it is, but not because it's like something I'm being super secretive about, just because like I don't think I'm allowed to say what it is. But partially shot here in Burbank and then partially shot in Bath, England. And so there was a day last week where my call time in Burbank was 7:30, but then I had a 3:30 a.m. call time to virtually direct the Bath crew. So Thursday into Friday, I mean, I was just like, I don't think I really recovered until Sunday. I haven't felt that spent since the final 24-hour live stream. Oh, at least I'm in the land of legal weed. That's actually funny. That's part of what I did on TikTok this week. I haven't posted them, but okay. So what I've decided to do on TikTok for the summer is do something called the Summer of Me or the Summer of Onyx, Summer of George from Seinfeld. I got it. I actually didn't really, Adam, I have only ever been to BlizzCon for work. I've only been there as a producer. So that stuff getting canceled, I feel bad, but like, it doesn't really affect me because I don't really play video games. I know. I'm so sorry. I had a wonderful job for E3 last week, and almost all the games talked about were just things I've never played and never heard of. I'm such a fake gamer boy. But anyway, so I knew that I was going to Palm Springs for a couple of days as myself, as Andrew. So I decided to bring my Onyx wig with me, and I got a bunch of like Onyx beach clothes and a gremlin tiki mug, and I got a parasol with the Universal movie monsters on it. So I filmed Onyx in Palm Springs saying, well, first of all, there's this trend on TikTok where you sneeze and you're in your home environment, and then when you lift your head, you're chugging a tiny bottle of alcohol and you're on vacation. And I've wanted to do that with Onyx for so long because it would be perfect for him to have a tiny wine, right? Why is my stream all glitched? I'm riding my Eros, my Eero extenders. Oh, but anyway, so I thought it'd be really funny. And I thought people on TikTok would be like, LOL, Onyx on vacation. Like, get ready for some funny vacation TikToks. But instead, okay, I should say, I'm focusing on the negative. Most people were positive and they were like, oh my gosh, get your relaxation king, all this stuff. But some people were like, just as I thought, he's a scammer. I see he took that Kickstarter money and ran away to Mexico. Y'all got fooled. And it's really hard for me because I don't know if we've talked about this much on the live streams. I don't know if we've talked about the Enneagram, but I'm a 4 on the Enneagram. Enneagram is like a personality definition system, whatever the fuck. I'm obsessed with authenticity, okay? I'm obsessed with authenticity. I feel like authenticity is like, I value that more than I value anything. So the idea that people would be like, you took the Kickstarter money and went on vacation. First of all, I've said this before on these streams. There's nothing I want more in life than to make movies. I'd never spend that money on anything except for making a movie. I wouldn't have broken my back for 45 days to go on vacation. Like, that goes against the person I've been built into being throughout my entire life. So that annoys me. But beyond that, the idea that I don't have, like, with my wife, 4 days planned from money I've made as a producer on 5 other jobs over the last few months. Like, that's just, it's so frustrating that people wouldn't understand and trust me and also like know my world a little better. But this is where it gets really, really difficult. I'm Onyx on TikTok. So like, I can't, it's weird. Like, as Bowser, I can get in the comments and be like, oh, so just so y'all know, I'm not paying for my vacation out of the Kickstarter money, and I would never do that. But then you're saying that as Onyx, and people get confused because they're like, yeah, right, you're a fucking freak. Who can trust what you would say, freak? And then I'm like, well, I'm not Onyx. And then the second you say that on TikTok, the second you're like, I'm not Onyx, then that's a bummer. Because the whole point is, I want to be Onyx on TikTok. So it's really, really difficult, like, to have any kind of discourse out of character on TikTok. So I just kind of take it. I just sat there. I did say this. This is what was so ironic. Not even fucking kidding. I was in a meeting with my line producer for 2 hours while my wife was at the pool. And I literally was like, okay, thanks so much. This has been a great conversation. I love the I can't really say the specifics, but I love what we just worked through. I think I'm going to put the deposit in on this and get this person started on that. And then I close that Zoom meeting and I go and make a fucking TikTok and people are like, just as I thought, a motherfucking scammer. So I commented as Onyx, I was like, would you prefer me upload my Zoom meetings with my line producer on TikTok? You know what I mean? Like, would that be exciting for people? I don't know. It's fucking, there's no way to not be annoyed by it. But I know. And the thing is, also, most people in the comments were like, whoa, this comment section does not pass the vibe check. Y'all need to let somebody enjoy 4 days off. And then, yes, you're right, CK and some other people, like, I guess I don't know enough about how many scams there've been through Kickstarter. Yeah, I don't know. Like, if you know me, you know that, like, when I take to my YouTube channel to ask for money for a boom or a camera, you know, like, guess what? I fucking buy a boom or a camera, and then I fucking make fuck tons of content over the course of the entire Kickstarter. Like, I use that shit, you know? There's nothing this is actually a problem in my life, that there's nothing I like more than creating. It's a problem. I don't have hobbies. I have a hard time socializing if it's not through work and creative relationships. And so that I just really ruffles my feathers when people try to accuse me of something like that. And it's hard because not much ruffles my feathers. I like being kind of unflappable, but I don't know. That then, when people show up in TikTok and they're trolling like that, it definitely does ruffle my feathers. So, well, Moonlit, I mean, I take it as a compliment that people think Onyx is real. I do, until it like conflicts with something I want to say personally. You know what I mean? And I'm trying to unflap myself. But what was cool was a couple of days in Palm Springs, and I got a bunch of people coming up to me at different times saying that they were a fan of Onyx, and that was cool. It was weird to be in like a random spot. I mean, it's kind of a vacation spot for a lot of LA people, so I guess I shouldn't be surprised, but I don't know. It was cool. It was cool to be like going from a Zoom meeting about the movie to making TikToks with Onyx, and then somebody at the pool with a pina colada is like, love your videos. That's really cool. And that's super encouraging. And that kind of always happens when I'm, questioning something. When I'm in my head about something, I feel like oftentimes some like external support shows up and says like, hey man, I love Onyx. Yeah. So anyway, but wait, I was going to talk about, okay. So this is the journey I was going to take him on with the Summer of Onyx. I shot a stack of TikToks last week, and oh yeah, QAB Andy man, ask those questions again in like 5 minutes when I'm done getting through this TikTok story. So, but I do panic a lot. Oh, Nick, I don't know if I panic a lot. Do I? Huh. I don't really. I think I had one kind of like subtle moment of internal doubt during the Kickstarter where I posted the video and said, I don't know if we're going to make it. But I don't really know that was panic. I think because panic involves like I imagine somebody dropping the things they're holding, and I don't really do that often. I stay productive. So anyway, I think I have a sense of urgency about what I do, but I don't really know that I panic. You know what I'm saying? Woo! Okay. So anyway, oh my gosh, I could have chaotic energy. Wow, what's going on? I take 2 weeks off and I'm getting whoo. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Is that a good thing or a bad thing? Chaotic energy. I mean, I've probably had chaotic energy my entire life. Okay, and Untold Hour update. But wait a minute. What was I saying? Okay, this is the TikTok journey I wanted to take Onyx on. So he goes to Palm Springs and he has a vacation, and he decides that he wants to be able to relax the way other people are relaxing by the pool, which is a hard thing. I don't have an easy time relaxing. I just don't. I just can't relax. But I also find peace in the things that I do. Like me making, like, as stressful as the campaign was, it's not disruptive. It's like, that's where I thrive. And even in going into planning the movie, that's where I thrive. So it's hard for me to relax because I don't necessarily feel the need to relax because I enjoy creating and solving problems and coming up with a way around something that looks like an obstacle, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So anyway, Onyx made a TikTok. I haven't posted it yet, where he's like, I want to relax like everybody else is at the pool, but I'm all twisted up inside of my head, swimming in a pool of nerves. So what he does is, I reached out to a TikToker who's like an expert on weed. And we did 3 little collabs where Onyx talks to her about trying to smoke weed for him the first time, and see if that can, it feels like you were way more productive fundraising than making the movie happen. What are you talking about? I have been in nonstop meetings and conversations about the making of the movie since we wrapped the campaign. I don't really understand that comment. I mean, I have been consumed by the movie since April 2nd. Like, my days are working on the movie. It feels like you were way more productive. Are you just saying that's what it looks like from the outside? Making the movie happen. I think it's because fundraising. Oh, you're not accusing me of not working on the movie. You're telling me it looks like that because it was public. I take my offense back. Is that what you mean? I think that's what you mean. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, he talks to this TikToker about weed, and then she recommends him do some gummies. Yes, QA Bandman. Okay. I remove my offense. I completely understand what you're saying, and yes, you are correct. It looks like my productivity has slowed down because now I'm in all these meetings about the money and about the location and about cast. So it looks like, that there's been less happening, when in actuality, I've been busier than ever. So anyway, he gets gummies and he eats the gummies and yeah, Nick, I think you're right. I've gotten comments on TikTok that are like, so how much have you shot so far? And I'm like, whoa, calm down. Like, I mean, I have people telling me I shouldn't be expecting to shoot in the fall, like that I'm pushing it, that I should wait longer. And I'm like, no, we're going in the fall in the industry to have basically in the fall for an indie with creatures and special effects and an ensemble cast. But I'm like, fall. All right. Anyway. Okay. The point is he smokes weed and then he has a revelation that he's going to get to know himself better than ever this summer. And he's going to enter in to the summer of Onyx, the summer of me. And he's going to meet with a personal trainer on TikTok. And we already shot those. They're really funny. He wore like a full pumpkin head sweatpants and sweatshirt. And anyway, and kept his fedora on. And then I filmed some stuff with Penny Barber, who's been in some of Onyx's sketches about him getting in touch with his sexuality. And anyway, I've got these stacked, and I'm going to shoot like 2 more rounds of these, him trying to find himself, so I can hopefully, roll those out as he enters the summer of me, the summer of Onyx. Anyway, maybe when I upload those, people on TikTok will be like, oh, okay. I guess you were still making content while on vacay, so it's okay. Meanwhile, the friends that I'm with are like, can you stop making content for once while we're on vacation? And I'm like, yeah, for sure. I just actually need to run real quick and film another TikTok. I had my Onyx wig in my little pool bag. Yes, I think we all might have misread that comment, but I get it now. So sorry. Yeah, Nate, the picture of me in the Pumpkinhead outfit was after I shot some stuff with this trainer, this TikTok fitness person. Okay, so next topic, Untold Hour. Just have been way too busy. The E3 job knocked me out, and Chobot is off shooting a project. So, so that's why the Untold Hour hasn't happened. That's it. Oh, Jordan, you want to talk about Evil Dead Rises? I wish. Unfortunately, I haven't made a name for myself as a director to be even in the rooms for jobs like that. But, like we talked about during the campaign, that's what I'm hoping the Onyx film will do. The number one hope is that it leads to more Onyx films or an Onyx TV show, because that's like my world. The secondary hope would be the Onyx film does well enough to just get me an agent and get me in the room for conversations and pitches like remaking Evil Dead. I've got so many opinions on the Evil Dead franchise. I don't have opinions on Army of the Dead because I didn't watch it. I played D&D while on vacation, actually, for a couple days in Palm Springs. One of our friends that we were with has a teenage son, and he DM'd, and we started a campaign while we were in Palm Springs. Oh, somebody else. Oh, AQM or AGM 130. I didn't actually make any TikToks with Onyx being high. I mean, I did one, but it was just like him kind of like sleepy. I didn't want to do like a Onyx is high. I need to think about that for longer. You know what I mean? Okay. Let's talk updates. Oh boy. So much like the last week, meaning 2 weeks ago, I have so many updates, but I can't say a lot of them concretely. I'm going to talk through slowly what I'm going to like talk about things generally and then consider whether or not I can get into specifics. But QAB Andy man. Okay. Location. I did send out a deposit on a location for the filming dates in October. It would start last week of October and it wraps like a couple weeks into November. Oh, right before Thanksgiving. Now look. So for all intents and purposes, we have a location. We've already had multiple conversations. My line producer has had conversations and they've been sent the dates. And I've sent a deposit out of that sweet, sweet Kickstarter money. So, now the question is, will everybody be available for those dates? So I've started reaching out to cast more concretely. I've got some disappointment in the cast department. Like, this is where I don't know if I should get specific. I've gotten a lot of passes. Okay. I'm just going to be honest. I've gotten a lot of passes. And I will say, the location is in, gosh, I don't know if I should say it. Here's why I don't know if I should say. I don't know if the location would want me to talk about it yet. Because yes, I've sent them the deposit, but no, we haven't signed the agreement. My entertainment lawyer is drafting the agreement. So I just feel like it might be a little early for me to say, okay? But anyway, when we talk about people passing on the script, let me say this. There are some people that have passed due to read the script, love the script, would be interested, but I'm booked. Do you know what I mean? So those are like, okay, that's fine. I don't begrudge anyone who's actually reading it and thinking about it and then ultimately saying, I can't make it happen in the fall. No, Olivia has not passed on it yet. No. Olivia and I are going to be talking much more in depth this week about like trying to lock her in. I'm going to talk, formally to her team. Yeah, don't worry. That would have bummed me out so much I might not have done a live stream today. Okay. So then there's people that have passed that I know haven't read the script, aren't looking at the project at all, and are maybe only looking at the financial offer, the monetary offer that I'm giving them. Then there's people that have said, we're not even going to read the script unless that offer grows. And it's such a chicken or the egg because so we have made offers based on what we think is logical based on the budget, right? I want to answer questions. I mean, I've been so transparent so far. I should answer the questions. But the problem is now we're involving other people's worlds. So if I were to say like, guess who passed on Onyx the movie? Fucking Tom Selleck. That's not true, but I'm saying as an example. But then it's like somebody tweets at Tom Selleck, yo, why'd you pass on that? And then it's like Tom Selleck's like, I never got a fucking Onyx the Fortuitous script. And then it's like, no, it was just his agent that passed on it because he knew he wouldn't be interested in doing a low budget indie. So what I'm saying is when I name names, it gets difficult because also I think some of the people that have passed, specifically on the role of Bartok, are passing because of the budget size. And it's chicken or the egg, where like if I knew they were interested creatively, I could go and try to find more money just for that talent fee. You know what I mean? But I can't get that talent fee to even read the script because they're saying it's not worth their time to even read it because there's such little money for talent. So it's just so chicken or the egg. I don't know. I think it's going to take personal connections to really fill out the cast. I do have a call with a casting director who's going to help, but I also, oh my gosh, running a second Kickstarter. Oh, whoa. I wouldn't think about doing that until, oh my gosh, I wouldn't think about doing that until so much further down the line, to where like, we discover we don't have money to do the cool visual effect that we really wanted. And I'd like run a Kickstarter just for that fucking bill. But we're not even talking about that. So it's difficult. I watched Willy's Wonderland. You're talking about the Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff? Yeah, I watched Willy's Wonderland. So people have passed. I'll just say, I won't name names. I'll just say, okay, like vaguely. Well, here's the other problem, QAB, Andy, man. Everyone's getting back to work. Like, so many people I reach out to are saying, yeah, he's booked, dude. He's booked through the spring. Like, everyone is back at it. So, okay. Oh, trust me. When I budgeted out the movie with my line producer, I was like, also, there's a music video I want to try to shoot at the end of every day. Let's just get one character doing one pass of the song in whatever environment they're in. And so we're on top of that. And all the Kickstarter stuff that has to happen. We're like scheduling in the Zoom hangouts, the meet and greets into our schedule, which, you know, I told the line producer, I was like, there's the movie schedule and then there's the Kickstarter schedule that's going to be running a parallel with it. But she gets that. She's been a part of stuff like that before. And I have somebody that's like just in charge of making sure all the Kickstarter stuff happens. It has to happen throughout the movie. Okay, but anyway, let me think. Let me go from the beginning of some people I wrote. I wrote a big actor. I wrote their manager. Their manager actually gave me their agent's contact info. So that was nice. They don't have to do that. And then the agent passed. The agent just said, he respectfully passes, but wishes you the best of luck. I mean, there wasn't even time to read the script. I got the hard pass from this person so fast that I can only assume it was because of my financial offer. But I responded with, well, I'll let you know if our budget or offer changes in case that might sway things. And the agent wrote back, thank you. So, you know, I wrote a big name in genre, probably too big to be in a movie like this. And their manager actually wrote me back and just said they were booked through spring. But even getting a response is so nice. These people I'm writing rep really big people, and they don't have to write me back, but they've written me back. Even to write me back with a pass is a really nice response to get. Okay, so, squeeze every penny out of that Kickstarter. Yeah, every penny has been squanched. Trust me. Trust me. I mean, yeah, we are putting every penny on screen. So I wrote somebody that's a known name in the horror genre. I told them what rate we could offer. And their response was, so-and-so does not do horror specifically for less than this much. And I gotta say, I don't believe them just because I've seen this actor in horror films that I just know didn't have that budget. You know what I mean? But what are you going to do? Write the agent back and be like, how about this? I think you're lying, motherfucker. So let me see. I mean, no joke. I probably wrote 10 bar talks this week. I was on the set of this E3 job responding to people. QAB and demand, that's a really good question. Okay, so Jay, this is a really good question. So, well, Taylor, that's the thing. Getting a script like this to somebody like Seth Rogen is impossible for a guy like me, because I don't have an agent. You've got to go through agents. And here's what happens: if you have an IMDb Pro account and it lists their agent, right? If they're at CAA, you know what contact info it lists? info@caa.com. Or it may list the agent's email, which is like their first name, like mine would be abowser@caa.com, but that goes to their assistant. And their assistants are trained to fucking throw out trash offers like an indie guy saying, hey, I raised money on a Kickstarter. I'm going to shoot my movie. It's about a viral guy named Onyx who's kind of into like Perfect Strangers and Satan. But those fucking offers get thrown into the trash bin. So you can't get to big people like that. I need to be further along in my career to be able to reach Seth Rogen. I do know somebody at The Lonely Island, and they're fans of Onyx, and I've sent them the script, but I haven't heard anything back. But wait, there was a couple other good questions in there. It does still feel like a dream come true because it's so nice to be able to write these people and say, we're shooting this in the fall. Are you interested? And it's just, everybody writes back that does write back. Everybody that does write back says, wow, this is so great that you've raised this money. You should be so proud of yourself. Everybody, even the people that like can't help. Because another thing I'm working on is, okay, this is another good topic. Trying to attach a name EP. Don't let me forget to explain that. That's also what I've been working on. Bruce Campbell, I haven't gone out to yet, but I will. Wait, there was a so somebody said, isn't Onyx the main pull? So, I mean, creatively, the movie just needs Onyx to work, right? But like logically thinking about Hollywood, how many people outside of my 7,493 backers are going to care about the Onyx of it all? Maybe he is enough. Maybe this movie would have the Napoleon Dynamite effect and it would just look so weird to fresh eyes that it would cause a kind of groundswell of curiosity. But maybe not. It's so hard because comedy just isn't in that zone anymore. Like, when's the last time comedy? It's been kind of the same for a long time, the same faces. I think Pen 15 might have been one of the only shows in a while that's broad, that really like spiked mainstream audiences with new attention. You know what I mean? So it's hard. I mean, I'm gambling. Everybody that gave to the Kickstarter is gambling on Onyx working on a cinematic level. And what we do in the shadows, yeah, well, the only thing is, yes, I would argue the film did that, but I would argue that the TV show was kind of an extension of the movie. So it was kind of already had a little bit of small fan base. And at that point, you're going off of Flight of the Conchords, you're going off of Taika Waititi's name. So I think it's a little different. Onyx will have no name, nobody, you know what I mean? Unless, which brings me to attaching a name EP. A lot of people I've written have given me the advice, we love you, Bows, but if you could attach a name EP, that could really make a difference. If you could say Sam Raimi presents Onyx the Fortuitous, if you could say James Gunn presents Onyx the Fortuitous, then fuck, dude. Any number of actors will come running. And so I've been trying that. I've been emailing people, horror directors who I know through podcasts I've done that I think, may care about Onyx. But, I've got no one interested in that. So it's hard to go from feeling so much love and support because of the Kickstarter to then being like slammed into real world Hollywood interactions where my personal success may not matter to the industry at large. And so I've got to constantly be thinking, well, what's the way forward? that doesn't involve me relying on these other people, because that was the whole point of the Kickstarter. I said it a million times. It was about becoming autonomous and being activated as an independent creator. And then you try to cast for this thing and, nobody's interested. Oh, Thomas Lennon is a great idea for a name EP. Executive producer is name EP. So you see it often, right? I mean, a movie comes out, and I mean, even like Brightburn, James Gunn presents Brightburn. I mean, James Gunn and the director of Brightburn are close friends and collaborators, but like that would be kind of an instance of a name EP helping a movie get financed and released. So of course I want it to be Andrew Bowser presents and that be enough, and Onyx presents, you know what I mean? But I don't know. So there was another question in there that was really good. Dang, I lost it. So QAB Andy Man. Oh yeah, I could work with Zach Galligan again. I loved him. But then I just go back to like, right, am I getting distracted with the idea that I need a big name for Bartok for this thing to work? I loved the performers from the live read. I loved all of those performers. I'm only trying to be smart about the marketplace, but who the fuck knows? What the marketplace is going to want. But our Bartok is only needed for 5 days. For 5 days of shooting. Okay, so location, deposit. Casting has not been going well, except for nobody is locked down. I have emails out to probably 10 Bartoks, 10 Mr. Dukes, 5 Shelleys. The actress from the live read for Shelley is not available in the fall. Love Xander Berkeley from the live read. I've sent him the most current draft of the script. And you're right, Amanda. It would be. It could be, if anything, like, oh, this hair is real, but I'm not going to show it to you without my cap because I'm balding. Like, I mean, I'm probably like, I'm at least Nicholson in The Shining level, thinning on top. But I don't feel like I look as cool as he did. Like Nicholson balding was just like good to go. You're like, yeah, he looks fucking cool. He's kind of crazy and wily. I don't think that's the vibe I send off. But look at these grays. Thank you, Brian. Look at these grays. It almost looks like I got chalk, like got like dust in my hair. Anyway, LeVar Burton's team has the script. I have written LeVar Burton, Keith David, an amazing actor named Ron Jones from This Is Us. For Mr. Duke. I've written a number of actresses for Shelley. But so anyway, so somebody, maybe it was Amanda, you said like, it'd be cool if it was all indie actors. And that's true. Like, I keep going back to, oh yeah, sure. Kyle, feel free to link us up. Any help. I'm looking for any kind of insight into, the best way to build this thing out. But am I like streaming in low res? Like, would it be doing that for some reason? I mean, I shouldn't, right? But everybody's saying it looks bad. I don't know though. When I scroll through, there's nothing that says like output quality or whatever. So, a musician named Aaron Marsh did the music for Worm. He was in a band called Copeland. Thank you, Euratomic. I fuzzed out. Okay. It's all choppy. 480. The fuck? I mean, I'm on my fucking Eros. People, my Eero extenders. Okay. Mashed potato. Jeez. Okay. Anyway, I keep going back to like, right. Onyx is an underdog story. There's a charm to Napoleon Dynamite because of the actors being from, I recognized Uncle Rico because I'm a monster movie fan. Oh yeah, so I should write down these like I used to because from College Humor is a good connection. Somebody said, what was the other people? Somebody said somebody else. Sam from College Humor. Who else did you guys say? Somebody else in chat put two names, like a writing team. Was it a writing team? Writing directing teams? Sam from College Humor, and who else? Remind me. Somebody said to reach out to blank, and oh yeah, Thomas Lennon. Yeah. I know some people that know him. This is the problem. I mean, if I'm being completely real, I know so many people in the industry know my videos. I know it. I know it. And any number of those people, if they knew I was making this film, might be interested in becoming an EP or even acting in it. But how do I get to those people if I don't have an agent? I mean, that's just the hard truth. And it's like part of me is like, do I do it to myself? I put myself in these situations where I've got to feel like that's all right. It's just me against the world. Onyx as this dark voyager into the space of nothingness without any support around him, except for the 7,493 people. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I don't purposely make myself an island. I've wanted an agent since I was 5 years old, but yet here I am, unrepresented and still making art independently. And at a certain point, you've just got to be okay with that so that you can stay productive and keep going. Because if you get hung up in the like, well, why aren't I making Evil Dead Rise? Huh? Why aren't I in the room to talk about that Firestarter remake? You just like, it slows you down because it just gets like goop all up in your gears. So I just keep having to go back to like, whatever, here's all I can do. All I can do is full steam ahead. I can try to raise the money for this. I can keep making content that I can control. So, you know, David Wayne. Oh, true. These are really good. This is, yes. Names like that, because then all of a sudden the trailer says from the minds that brought you Wet Hot American Summer. And you'd be surprised how far that goes. Yes, Daniel, the idea is that making this film finally gets me representation. Yeah. How does getting an agent work, Kieran? It is a fucking rhyme wrapped in a riddle, swaddled in an enigma. Most people get agents by making short films and getting into film festivals, and I've done that. Most people get agents by creating viral internet content, and I've done that. You'd think even running a Kickstarter for an independent film and raising $500,000 would get me an agent, but it didn't. It's pretty crazy. But it's like where I am is like, well, fuck it. I have to just make this movie. I can't think, like, why didn't the Kickstarter lead to enough exposure to get me an agent? Why didn't Worm get me an agent? It's just, you can only spend so much time in those thoughts before it's just like, well, who knows? Fuck it. On to the next one. And, even that could be a flaw. Some people could be like, well, you move on too quick, and that's a flaw. Like, should I have pushed Goatman more? Should I have pushed Worm more? Once it kind of played the festivals it played. I don't know. But I'm too much of a maker, I'm too much of a maker. And I love writing, but I love making. Claudio and Corey as EPs. I mean, not bad. Oh, no, Kieran, no, you can't hire an agent. Not any agent that's worthwhile. No, you have to be selected by an agency. I mean, you've got to be, think of it like, I'm writing down Corey and Claudio as EPs. Think about it like this. Oh yeah, Gerard Way. Oh, oops. Yeah, oops. That's a good idea too. Oops. Because then you could say from the mind, from the mind that brought you the Umbrella Academy. Okay, so no, thing about an agent is being like getting drafted for a sports team. You have to have done something that makes a mark, that gets attention. So for athletes, it's being a star in high school or college. And then that gets the attention of the teams and they draft you. Yeah, so that's exactly what it's like. So I'd have to get this movie into a big festival and everybody for a night be talking about this wild horror comedy that came out of left field that features this internet specter that's somehow a throwback to Fright Night and Gremlins. And then I'd have to be at a fucking event at South by Southwest when an agent shows up and is like, I loved your movie. I think you're hilarious. I think you'd be great as a comedic actor or director. I want to sign you and I want you to remake Gremlins fucking now, dude. And then I'd be like, you know what? Where do I sign, baby? So, Duplass. Thank you, Amanda. Duplass. That's also good. I mean, I'm literally going to write all of these people this week. But again, I'm going to write their, IMDb Pro contact info. So, schwat'll that do? Tobin Bell as Bartok. I don't know. I never really connected to Saw. Yeah, I've never really connected to Saw. It just doesn't slam for me. And be going the way. Oh, Marty, how did I decide? Oh, I made a short film a long time ago, and a buddy of mine got me an agent. Simon Pegg is booked through the spring, Scott, but at least I did get a response from his manager, which is awesome. Jim. Oh. So this brings up a good question though. Jimmy Simpson. Pause on that. I want to talk about that, but real quick, what was I saying? Oh, I moved to LA because I had a short film, and a buddy of mine showed that short film to a manager, and we got a meeting out here, and that manager tried to get our short. He didn't sign us, but he tried to get that short made into a feature, and then it never did, and so he just never talked to us again. Okay. So this is an interesting thought. I thought of an actor this week that I would love to play Bartok, who is younger than the Bartoks I've been looking into. And then I thought, well, what if you said Bartok was ageless? And it wouldn't need to be a big focus of the script, but, instead of Bartok the Great, it's Bartok the Ageless, and he's just known to be this man that never ages. And it's because at some point in his career as a Satanist, he found the fountain of youth or made a deal with the devil, some kind of Faustian bargain that gave him eternal life. And so he always looks 35. He always looks 38. He always looks 40, whatever he is. And then, and that was actually Olivia's idea, because I was telling her, hey, I have this actor that I could talk to about playing Bartok. Oh, I'll answer that question, Hunter. Give me 1 second. Don't forget it. And so this goes to the Jimmy Simpson of it all, too. Could Bartok be younger if we added the creative that he's ageless? And it was Olivia's idea that I was like, I don't like the idea of a younger Bartok because it's supposed to be kind of like a father figure to Onyx. And if they're the same age, it's kind of like competing vibes. And she was like, yeah, but it could be like magic. And I'm like, oh, yeah. Bartok being magically young, that's tight. So then I'm like, well, fuck, now that's like, there's a whole other batch of people I could think about writing. David Sandberg, I've written before, and he's never written me back, but yeah, I could try. These are all good suggestions. Okay, question from Hunter. Forgive me if this is inappropriate, but doesn't Olivia have an agent? Could someone help you get with an agency? I can't help but think if agents knew you, they'd rep you. Yeah, I tell you, if I had a nickel for every friend of mine who's repped. Hey, Maddie, if I had a friend of mine, if I had a nickel for every friend of mine who's repped, who has given their agent my work, I would have a large bag of nickels. I have so many friends that are repped that have sent my work to their agents over the years, including Olivia, and it's never mattered. You have to think of it like, this is generalizing, but agents don't run off of intuition and passion for the most part, at least not when they initially sign someone. There has to be a viable, sound reason that it looks like this person is somebody to bet on. They've got to have something concrete. They've got to have a film that's making the rounds at the festivals. They've got to have a project that sold when they were unrepped. They've got to have a viral character with over 300 million views. No, obviously that's not enough. So there's got to be a reason that they can put their neck on the line. I mean, I had an agent once meet with me he was originally from Bowie, Maryland, where I'm from. And it was when I had the Goatman movie, which takes place in Bowie, and it's called Jimmy Tupper versus the Goatman of Bowie. And this DVD was sent to this agent because he saw it. This guy who knew the agent saw it at South by Southwest and said, "I loved your movie. I'm going to give that DVD to this agent." And the agent was like, "I'd love to meet with this guy." And we met and we talked about PG County. He went to high school not far from where I went to high school. And then after the meeting, he was like, "I don't see a future here." And I was like, "Oh, okay. But I've got other ideas, like even outside of Goatman." And he was like, "Yeah, no, I don't see any necessary worth in any of the other projects that you've talked about." And I'm like, okay. All right. Thank you, my guy. So that was rough, but that was 2010. So think about how many more instances like that I've experienced since 2010. I had a manager for a little bit because of some of my sketches when they were popping up on, yeah, Marty, the agent broke up with me. A couple of my sketches were popping up on the front page of Funny or Die. And I got a manager and I was like, all in. And then the manager just dropped me. And I'm telling you guys, like, you've got to believe me. I'm not a weirdo. Like when I sit down and talk with these people, I'm not like, it's my way or the highway. You're going to rep me, huh? Well, you better get in my camp. All right. I'm driving this vehicle. I'm like, hey, whatever you think, I'll be the guy in the fucking Pizza Hut commercial that's just like, you ready for your order? I like make Onyx the weird side character on fucking Big Bang Theory season 90. Like, shove me somewhere. I'll do the gig and then put money into my own movies. And I was dropped by this manager. Like, I just launched Onyx and it had just gotten like 3 million views. And I sent it to him and I was like, and it was also the same summer I was going to shoot Worm in Oklahoma. And I was like, hey, so this character I created just went viral on Reddit. Maybe I should be more assertive. Oh boy, that's a whole other conversation, dude. I mean, I'm as assertive as I can possibly be. I follow up on the follow-up. I mean, Olivia's joke about me is that I follow up on follow-ups. Everybody I've written about being in the film, I give it 2 days and then I write them back. Hey, just want to make sure you got that script. Want to know if you would consider being an honest producer, Tell them to soul. I fucking think about how I am with making my stuff. That's how I am when I fucking interact with the rest of the industry. And it's just, I mean, there'll be times when I'll think, oh, I should write so-and-so at insert company here. And I'll look in my email and I've already written them. I've written people that I forget I've written. I write people all the time, constantly. There's not a company you could name out here producing stuff like this that I haven't badgered. Anyway, so my manager, I wrote them and I was like, hey, this character I created is going viral. It's got like 2.5 million views. This is just wanted to send it your way, you know, like maybe he's the kind of thing that he could like be in commercials or whatever. Also, I'm going to be going to make my own movie. I'm shooting it myself on a GoPro, and it's all going to be one take. And that email he responds to and says, "Actually, good to hear from you, Andrew. I don't think things are going anywhere with us, and I'm going to stop representing you." as talent. The email where I tell him Onyx is going viral. Do you know what I mean? The email where I tell him I'm going to shoot a one-take movie that I'm the writer, director, and star of. Like, I mean, the amount of confusion that has swirled around me in my 15 years in LA is fucking wild. Wild. Anyway, I mean, you know, I'm going to hit 1 million on TikTok this summer, and it makes me sound like a fucking dickbag to say this, but like, couldn't that get me an agent? No? Still no? Yeah, got it. Okay, for sure. Well, I guess I'll just continue being viral and making movies, but no one will except for my fucking diehards, and that's fine. That's how we roll, I guess. Goo heads for life, or Goo Squad. Anyway, what I'm saying about Jimmy Simpson is if I decide to make Bartok ageless and say that he at some point found the Fountain of Youth or made a deal with the devil, then maybe Jimmy could be Bartok. Like, at that point, you're opening up so much. Well, Nate, you know, if I agree with your statement, it kind of makes me look full of myself. But I'll read your statement and I'll say what I think. Nate said, I'm too creative. It's hard to put an artist into a category. Nate, you might not be wrong, even though that makes me look really good. But the truth is, when you are not one thing, it is really hard. Like, where in their quill, as an agent or manager might say, where do I fit? What am I? What can I be? What am I? You know, how would I work for them? And the thing is, you know, I might disappear for a month to go make my own movie. I might not be in town to audition for that Geico commercial because I'm off making my own shit. And maybe you can smell that on me. You know, you might be able to just fucking smell that on me. So that might be very true. You know, and maybe that kind of energy is just what I see as being a positive. Maybe it's a negative when it comes to representation. But there's a lot of really cool, creative people that have agents. That's the only thing. But somebody else had something there. Goo fam, Goo crew. Yeah. Oh, thank you, Animal. I mean, that's my goal. I want this movie to launch more Onyx. I want redemption for Onyx. I want redemption for my 15 years in LA. I mean, I've been acting since I was 8, but 15 years in LA. So, I mean, that's why we're fucking doing this. I should go soon, but for every successful hit, there are hundreds of stories of how they were rejected by this or that. People can't tell what's great until it is. Yeah, I know. I mean, but the trick is you got to get the opportunity to show that greatness. That's the hard thing. Talent's not enough. Even timing is not enough. It's like these parrots are going insane. We got parrots where we are. Excuse me. It's all of this converging. I don't know. It's weird. I've written so many people that are so excited about the project and that are so excited by what we've already accomplished. And yet, you know, I just think, honestly, who's going to be in this film are going to be the people that already kind of know and trust me. And maybe that's how it should be. Maybe I should stop spinning my wheels, sending out a lot of these emails. And the idea of getting a name EP attached. I mean, I want to be that eventually, you know, I want to be the name that gets something greenlit. And maybe to get there, I've got to make something that doesn't have anybody else's name on it. But how do you attract the talent that might make the movie matter? Maybe Onyx is enough. Maybe it'll be My Napoleon Dynamite. Who is to say? Only time will tell. Dexter wasn't able to donate to the Kickstarter, but oh, thank you. Well, Marty, that's true too. I mean, you know, yeah, where filmmaking is, it's a, you know, my shtick isn't necessarily the shtick that's selling. So I can't be mad at the industry when, you know, I do weird stuff that might not connect with a larger audience, but I have a feeling it would connect with an audience. And Hunter, you're right. I'm still here. I'm still making shit. I've got jobs. I've got work that's keeping me in LA, that's keeping me able to pay bills, live, run this Kickstarter, connect with an audience. That's the thing. It's like, ultimately, I don't feel like I can complain because I'm doing it, you know? I'm doing it. I'm just doing it at a level that takes a lot more from an individual than, you know, a shared team splitting responsibilities. But that's, you know, what an independent artist is, I guess. And also, it is shared. It's shared with 7,493 people. So, okay. Thank you, Katie. Andrew, keep it up and never give up. You keep up creating the hype, keep up creating the magic. It will sell. It will sell if you make the world notice. Amen. I mean, that's what this movie's about. That's what this movie's about. Okay, so location is, we got a deposit in on the location. A lot of rejections from from proposed cast, prospective cast, but that's okay. If the world doesn't bow down to this movie and it ends up as a modest, successful indie film, will your dream not be achieved? No, the dream, the only pressure, Gremmy's good. The only pressure, he's been coming out of the crate to eat, by the way. I should have said that in the beginning, and I've been sitting right here with him. We knock Onyx out of the park. We make the Onyx movie that could only exist through crowdfunding, that is a payoff for the years of doing the character. That's all. The professional goals of it getting me an agent and getting me another Onyx movie or getting me a job remaking one of my favorite horror films, I'm not putting that pressure on the film truly, really. Do you know what I mean? My pressure is just to make this movie the thing I want it to be. The gadget hack wrench jokes, the meatloaf song, the fucking meat hut, the crazy, the perspective that I feel like I've grown in my videos over the years on film as a movie, something that I would have wanted to see when I was a teenager. That's the only pressure I'm putting on this thing. And outside of that, I've told myself, like, go easy, dude. Go easy, you know. Okay, so my laptop's about to die, but I will be streaming next week. I'll probably stream maybe even halfway during the week because I might have more updates, but I should go for now. And thank you all so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.